I'm very happy that corporate world of India has prepared a vision document. And let me tell you, in Paris, when you will be releasing, I'll be there. So, because I value partnership, when we started working on INDCs, I said it is not government department job alone. Everybody is doing something. At least we must tap what everybody has done, calculate, and envision as to how much we can do. Because when we started planning for INDCs, you are to look in the window of 15 years, 2030. Today it is 2015. So even I found out that many officers who think from the prism of 5-year plan were not ready to think beyond 17. But we made everybody to think beyond. And then came out with real calculations of what their efforts in the ministry will ultimately result in saving, in increasing efficiency, in reducing our carbon footprint and energy intensity, all put together. And that is why we could present INDC, which was appreciated world over. The NGO Alliance, which otherwise used to single out India for beating, has come up with their conclusion that developing world has done much better through their INDCs than their fair share. And the developed world now requires to walk the talk and up their ambitions, because they have done much less than their fair share, what they can do and what they should do. In this effort, I also said that private industries, because I have gone to many industries, and I have seen for myself how much they are saving, how much they are practicing. They're saving the energy, saving water, increasing energy efficiency, reducing energy intensity with technologies, reducing emission intensity, as you rightly said, carbon footprint reduction, also waste management, more green, the clean environment. All these aspects matter. And it gives, see, when thousands of workers come in your campus, they also get educated on environment when you practice this. So they go home, Swachh Bharat hoga kaise? So with all that inspiration, and now children are our new ambassadors, they are doing it. I launched one program of plastic free, and that trial balloons have succeeded very much. In one of the tehsil, there were 20 schools, 5,000 students. They came together, sang a song on Swachh Bharat. And then they started collecting plastic waste, because I gave them a simple program. If you ask them to dust the roads, that's not possible. But collecting plastic is easy. We provided them gloves and they collected it. But it never remained one day affair. Last 9 January I did it. And now, on this 9 January, I'll again go, the whole town, the whole culture has changed. And it's plastic free for one last full year. That's the success. And corporate social responsibility, CSR, we have talked about much. But your today's vision document is a corporate environment responsibility document. That's how I will describe it. Instead of CSR, this is in addition to CSR, it is CER. And that's how we should. We wanted this partnership, and I think this is the lobbying for the country, for the planet, for the future generation. Because Mahatma Gandhi used to say, and that's I regard him as the first environmentalist, when world was not debating about climate change. he was saying that the earth is not inherited, we have not inherited it from earlier generation. It's on loan for us from future generations. We must give them back at least the way we got it, or improving a little better. And that's the commitment with which we have gone. And we know India is not part of the problem. If today world is experimenting or experiencing 0.8 degrees Celsius temperature rise, it's the historical cumulative emission of 150 years which is the cause of it. And in that, we are just 3%. So we are not part of the problem. But our Prime Minister Modi said, though we are not part of the problem, we will be part of the solution. We will lead with example. And I'm happy that corporate world is also responding it positively. And that means business sense also. When I started, we are making at Environment Ministry condition little stringent. So when I started asking distilleries for ZLD, they come up. That's the first habit. Oh, this will be too stringent, we can't do it. Then, but I have the habit to listen to the inner voice also, and I get feedback real also from ground zero. And then I got it. I was firm. Then many people said, no, yes, this is good. And we gave them calculation that in 5 years, it's a payback, and you will be getting dividend more because the technology life is more than 20 years. So you will not be at loss at all. It makes completely business sense. And you don't pollute the water, that's important. गंगा मैली इसलिए नहीं हो गई कि पापियों के पाप धोते धोते. No way. It's because we are polluting it. After 68 years of independence, 86% of our sewage goes untreated into the water bodies. 1/3 of the industrial pollution goes into water bodies. These are the reasons why Ganga and all other rivers and all water bodies have got contaminated. We have to improve it. And I am very confident. People say, oh, nothing is happening. Yes, everything is happening. Things, see, जो 65 साल में नहीं हुआ, वो आने वाले 5-7 साल में करना है. यूरोप और अमेरिका की रिवर्स भी ऐसी गंदी थी 60 साल पहले. 10 साल के प्रयासों में उन्होंने ठीक की, हम भी करेंगे. So industry is doing for its own benefit also, and it's in a way, I said, corporate environment responsibility, which they understand. And that's what Tata vision is. That's what many industries have seen like that. They are doing it. And so environment can also be a good business. We want clean water, we want clean air, we want clean environment, we want clean energy, and we want more green. That's our mandate. That's nation's pledge. And that's what is reflected in INDCs. And therefore world appreciated it. But now there are issues. Issues, Preeti, are not only finance. Because World Bank and many other institutes are coming up with so many now new conditionalities. I will require coal to be used. Today my per capita coal consumption is 1/5 of US coal consumption per capita. And even in 2030, I will not be overtaking in absolute terms even. I will be still 1 by 2.5. That is how we will be. So we will be doubling our, but still I will not be reaching there. US and China decided that 2030 China will peak. But we calculated it will be 14 tons emission per capita. Both will converge at 12 to 14 tons. I will never reach there. I will never reach there. That's India's commitment. That's India's stage of development. And so I will be developing. You can't now project me as villain because we are not. And so therefore, technology becomes important because I believe in human intent and human intelligence. These will produce new technologies, new science and development. It happens. In Kyoto, when all people, there was large delegation of America, with 700 experts. But nobody knew that shale gas was waiting outside. And it happened. So now when we are in Paris, nobody knows that there may be a hydrogen car waiting outside. People discussed about CCS technology for a decade and it has not materialized. It's still in the labs. But my Indians, young scientist came to me from London and he has invented CCU, carbon capture and use. I'm not a technocrat, so I can visualize much better sometimes. Because I can visualize a campus where there will be a thermal power plant, you collect carbon from there and use it in chemical fertilizers and so many others where carbon becomes your input. In the same campus you have all complex and you are carbon capturing and using it. So there are many solutions. There are clean coal technology. There are many other ways to have clean energy. See, I don't have shale gas. So if somebody has naturally endowed with shale gas, users can't ask me that you compete with it. I can't. But I can compete with many other things and therefore technology has to be free. When in 2008 Manmohan Singh was Prime Minister and he staked in a way on the Indo-US civil nuclear deal, we were told that this is not basically about nuclear energy. This is about access to the high-end research in US. But that didn't come about practically. That's the issue. So technology we want for all sectors. With clean coal technology, and it must become it must become IPR3. When I first talked about it, it was said, you don't understand what's IPR. And I realized IPR must be regarded. They must be compensated because who will innovate? But I said Madame Curie and Louis Pasteur of yesteryears did not invent it for patents. They invented for humankind. And they made real welfare of the human beings possible. And while even in latest day, last few years, we decided to offer IPR-free cost, low cost medicines to fight HIV/AIDS. But this climate change is much serious threat than HIV/AIDS. Anybody will appreciate. Then why to profit from disaster? Technology sharing of IPR technologies at an affordable cost with compensating the companies through GCF are the ideas which we have put on table. And now world is discussing. And I think that from Paris, there will be some solution coming out of it. I have also, मैंने कहा, Lucerne में, on the Swiss-French border, there is a research going on to find out how the earth was born. Hadron Collider. So they are finding out how the earth was born. I said, we must jointly find out how the earth can be saved from climate change. That's also needed. And therefore, the technology must come to all those who want to use it to make our earth better without barriers. That's our demand. It must come without barriers. And yes, innovation must be compensated, but it has to be an affordable technology, with dissemination of which is very important. Shankar, you talked about carbon pricing. Our Prime Minister comes with newer ideas. He said that this carbon pricing or carbon market, because after all price is a function of market, and that market failed because we diluted it so much. But that the very concept of carbon pricing and market is पाप मुक्ति. गंगा में डुबकी लगा दो और पाप से मुक्त हो जाओ. So because you emit carbon, but you pay for it, and then you are free of responsibility. No, we must promote green credits. we must promote real positive action. That's also an incentive. And with all these new concepts, we will achieve our INDCs, we can even do better than, and we want to do better with cooperation of all. And therefore I said in the beginning that it's a partnership. It's not only corporates, it's not only government departments. We can't think of in silos and work in silos. We have to work together. It's India's vision. Corporate vision is part of it, and we value that part. And therefore, I am today very happy that we are making a joint effort to showcase India's intent, showcase India's efforts, and showcase India's willingness to walk the talk and do it much faster. We need real technological cooperation, dissemination of sharing of real effective technologies across sectors with affordable cost. If that comes about, we can achieve much easier and earlier than what we have planned. Thank you and all the best.